Okay, this section is going to be talking about our X-Bank. The X-Bank stands basically for extra credit. It's a bank of points that students can put into a separate category of their grade. It does not have a weighted value. It's just kind of like a savings bank of points. It sits there. It allows students to be able to use those points for a variety of different things throughout the course of the year to help improve their grade. They have to have a certain amount of success before they can use those points. And as we know as educators, we do not assess students on everything that we teach them. And so this allows them to take the extra learning that they've gained to apply to their studies and helps them with their grades. So I'm going to go ahead and ask each of them to kind of explain how the X-Bank has helped you out for your grade and as well as your learning. So who'd like to start?
I can start. The X-Bank helps because when you're either taking notes down about what you're like the video or what it's about, it helps you remember it because you're writing it down. And quite a while.
That retention works by writing it down. So just watching, we don't want to be entertained necessarily. We want to learn from that process.
Most people just fall asleep during the video if they're not doing anything. So.
Okay. Now, how about Roxy? Talk about the lecture. We do lectures too.
Yeah, like I think it helps like when you're studying because it's easier to like look when you're like how they're bulleted. Like it's easier for me to like to go over it rather than reading like a big paragraph and stuff. So I think it's easier to use it to study.
Okay, good. Allison, how about you?
Like I said, it like works out for me because like I write it down, and like when I usually write down like things that are kind of complicated, it sticks with me, and it's easier to learn that way.
Good. And how about as far as your grade? Do you find that it makes a big difference in your grade?
Yeah, because like if
it's easier
you
to
write,
study.
yeah, it's easy, and like if you do extra, you have extra like
make up
points
for
at the
stuff
end,
that you didn't do.
yeah, like make up for the.
So when you don't fill out every category, is that kind of a bad thing and you don't get any extra credit points because you didn't do the the activity first?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Good. Anything else?
No.
All right. Thanks. Okay, this session is going to be about our daily performance sheet, which is called our DPS. This is a student tracking sheet that allows them to keep track of points throughout the course of the week and daily, because it is called the daily performance sheet. So what we're going to be looking at here are the categories that the corporate world's looking for in our young people. Basically, are they punctual? Punctual meaning you're in your seat, you're sitting down, doing your work when the target bell goes off. So we have an entry activity on the screen, they come in, they do what they're supposed to do, they get to work right away. Also, the next category is, are you prepared? Do you have your pencil, book, materials, those kinds of things? So we're making sure that they do have that information as well. Then, are they being productive? And are they working throughout the course of the period, doing what they're supposed to do? Was that from bell to bell or just part of the way? Then there's the entry quiz activity that they record on that as well, and that is 1 through 3. So basically we have our 3 questions from the previous day's assignment, and they work through those 3 questions at the beginning of the class. They have 5 minutes to complete that. And then are they being polite? And that's the customer service piece the corporate world's looking for in our young people. Can they actually be polite and on task and not disturbing others during the learning process? So I have 4 of our students here today, and we're going to talk about how the DPS is an effective tool for them in tracking their grade versus electronic grading, teachers' reports, progress reports, things like that. Gentlemen, I'd like you to tell us how does it help you with your tracking? And why don't we just start over here with Zach?
Well, it's pretty easy. I mean, DPS, you just fill out what you were doing right, and if you didn't do something, you just score yourself lower. So, I mean, all you have to do is stay on task and do your work and be polite to others and not get off task or disturb anyone. So if you just do that, you get all your points for the week. I mean, it's pretty easy. It makes everything more simple, and we're able to know where we're at in the class.
Okay, thanks. Aaron?
And like it has the 4 sections, and so if you're like if you're doing bad in the class, then you can look at your DPS and you know what you're doing bad in. And also it just helps you like on a weekly basis, you know where you're at, because you just you see it every time you mark it down. Instead of the teacher marking your grades and it being in their head, you know where you're at because you're doing it yourself. You're marking it down yourself.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, I like the DPS more because, like, you know why your grade is at that grade. It's not like other classes where, like, well, why did I get this? In this class, it's just like, oh, like, I know why I'm getting this grade in this class because I missed that.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a conscientious piece going on there.
Yep.
All right, Cedric, thanks. Ziggy?
Well, I like the DPS because Edline, electronically, when they do the grades, it's week by week, and the DPS is day by day. So if you're doing bad on Monday and Tuesday, and you don't want your grade to be bad for that entire week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you can pick it up and do good in those areas that you're not doing so good in.
Yeah.
And you don't have to wait till a certain day each week to figure out your grade.
Okay.
You know.
So, gentlemen, when you leave the class every day, if I were to stand out in the hall, or some other person were to be out in the hall, and say, "What's your grade in this class?" Could you tell them for 100% sure this is my grade?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can. If we graded ourselves correctly.
Well, there you go. Yeah, you'd have to grade correctly, but you'd be pretty accurate. Okay, and so you know, like a lot of classes, you have to wait
Yeah.
for Edline to come up, or you have to wait for the teacher to get back to you, progress reports, something like that. And so sometimes, do you feel like you're kind of left in the dark a little bit, like not knowing what my grade is?
Yeah.
And then you come back and you're like, what's my grade right now? And can I get any extra credit to change it? And they're like, well, we don't offer extra credit.
Okay.
And so you don't know.
You're like stuck.
And you don't have to wait until like the end of the semester when there's nothing you can do to make it up. You can make it up as you're going
Okay.
because you know what your grade is.
So there you go. So you're in total control of your grade, and that's what we're trying to get to right here.
Yeah.
We're able to know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
And what we need to pick up on.
It's also
and what we need to
not.
do better.
It's also easy for us, but it's also easier for the teacher, because then you just see like, oh, that's theirs, and then all you have to do is just look over it.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Good
it's
stuff.
Easy for it is easy for the teacher to do it too, because I mean, you're able to see if we marked ourselves like higher than what we should have.
Mhm.
Be able to know that day we weren't, so you have to give us
Sure.
a lower grade because we weren't doing that well.
Could this document be used for all your classes?
It would be a lot
Mhm.
easier if,
Yeah.
if it was,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I actually like the DPS because I'm just able to control it and understand what I'm doing right and what I'm not doing completely
And it
good.
keeps you accountable.
Good.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed watching this last few minutes of our series on motivating students to learn. Passion for learning is what I like to think about as far as what we've been going over. The 4 different strategies of the CBIP, the DPS, the X-Bank sheet. These are all very important tools to help young people become prepared for the corporate world. We are in a transition point with young people today as we train them to become the next productive group of individuals in America, as they're working on their production skills, transportation. Perhaps some of them will be in transportation, others in distribution, others will be in the service industry. And these 4 skills that we're working with them on are very important and paramount to their success and the success of future generations in the workplace. And so we are about preparing them for the next step in their lives. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of things that we have in store for you. We do have the book. Our book is The Motivating, Defiant, and Disruptive Students to Learn. This contains not just the 4 strategies that I went through in this series, but it also covers 208 different strategies in dealing with students that are perhaps defiant, causing some disturbance in the classroom, those sorts of things. We also like to think about engaging the reluctant learner, because we do have some students, as you know, that are somewhat reluctant. They do not want to study. They don't want to engage. And as you can see, we have put together strategies in the last series of our videos where they can engage with us and not have to say anything by a simple thumb check and sharing what works for them. So the book contains a lot of information. I would encourage you to go to corwinpublications.com or corwin.com and order yourself a book. We also have the DVD incomplete series of what we've shown here in segments. You can purchase the whole DVD as well by going to our website at pioneereducationconsulting.com, or you can simply type in Rich Korb and search for my name, and you can find that information as well. We also have an online course where you can gain information about these strategies. It takes you on a 7-stage journey through the concepts found in the book. There's credit being offered from Brandon University as well as Seattle Pacific University, where there are workshops available, and I do conduct workshops covering these strategies that do help the reluctant learner to become engaged. So I wish you the best. There's a lot out there, many things to learn from, and it's been my pleasure to share what's been working for me for 34 years as an adjunct instructor at the university level as well. So thank you very much, and God bless you.